You know the name Doug Poppa?
Yes, I do. God bless Doug Poppa, an honest cop.
I was elated, of course, but then as he testified, I was somewhat concerned for him, because I knew that they were probably going to crucify that man.
The top cop who put his badge on the line for justice.
One man who confronted truth and consequences.
Welcome to Truth and Consequences with Doug Poppa, episode 49 for Monday, May 10th, 2021. On Thursday, April 29th, 2021, I broke the story on my podcast that Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Melanie Andress-Tobiasson would be resigning from the bench. As I previously reported, Judge Tobiason signed the stipulation and order of consent to resignation and resolution of all pending matters involving the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline and Judge Tobiason. Tobiason agreed to tender her resignation that was effective this past Friday, May 7, 2021. Tobiason stipulated that she would dismiss her pending civil rights action that she filed against the Commission in the United States District Court. Tobiason also stipulated that after vacating her judicial office, she will neither seek nor accept judicial office in the state of Nevada at any time in the future, nor will she undertake or perform any duty within the definition of judge. The Commission agreed to dismiss the public hearing that was to commence on May 17th, when Tobiason would have had the opportunity to defend herself against a litany of charges that were filed against her by the Judicial Commission on August 31st, 2020. In short, Tobiason signed this agreement with the Commission 18 days before her public hearing was to commence, leaving many in Las Vegas, including myself, believing that Melanie Andress-Tobiasson had doubts the hearing would end in her favor, and she would have been removed from the bench had she gone forward with the public hearing. As I have exclusively reported on numerous times, now former Judge Melanie Andress-Tobiasson is a documented liar many times over. Tobiason has claimed that there is a police cover-up in the unsolved 2016 murders of Connie Land and Nehemiah Kauffman, and that the police don't know what evidence she has to prove that. Tobiason also claimed that the murders occurred about 8 hours after she was outed by then Las Vegas Metro Vice Detective Justine Gaddis as a confidential source of information to Las Vegas Metro Police Officer Clarence Bowden and his daughter Allie. Tobiason said it was her and her daughter Sarah who were meant to be killed, and not Land and Kauffman. These allegations were made by Tobiason during my May 2018 recorded on-the-record interview with her. Many in Las Vegas were waiting for Tobiason to explain her comments under oath at the May 17th hearing, and divulge the evidence she said she has that would back up her claims. Now, because there will be no such hearing, the public and the families of Connie Land and Nehemiah Kauffman will never hear either Tobiason nor the Las Vegas Metro police officers Tobiason made allegations against testify under oath, at least not in this hearing. Very convenient indeed for both Tobiason and the police. It has the putrid odor of a cover-up. By resigning, in lieu of facing charges, and with her silence, Melanie Andress-Tobiasson is now, ironically, complicit in the very same cover-up that she claimed the Las Vegas Metro Police perpetrated themselves, and who Tobiason made allegations against. Here are a few audio excerpts from my May 7, 2018 interview with then-Judge Melanie Andress-Tobiasson. The entire unedited audio interview is available in episode 39 of Truth and Consequences.
So, that night, unbeknownst to me at this time, Allie leaves my house and she puts out a tweet about the fact that she was called in and questioned by Vice. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, unfortunately, at this point, Allie was no longer associated with Shane Valentine. She was associated with Neo Kauffman. And like I said, they had had a beef because Shane was upset that Neo was taking Shane's goals. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that night at about 12:30, so it would have been 12:30, October 26th, 12:30 a.m., Shane Valentine, the guy by the name of Dominique Thompson, he went by Domo, D-O-M-O, and a girl by the name of Frankie, F-R-A-N-K-I-E, Zappia, Z-A-P-P-I-A. He's a pimp. His name's Domo, D-O-M-O.
Okay.
Shane, Domo, and Frankie, whose stepdad is a police officer by the name of Dano, D-A-N-O, Giersdorf, Giersdors, go to Neo's house and execute Neo and his girlfriend, Connie Land. Dano,
Right.
D-A-N-O,
Right.
Giersdorf, is the stepfather of Frankie Zappia, one of the suspects in the double homicide that happened 8 hours after I was outed as a source of information to one of Shane Valentine's prostitutes who had left him and was now working for Neo. 8 hours later, her new pimp is killed by her old pimp because she puts out on Twitter that she had been called in and interviewed by Vice. They know, and everyone else knows, that this murder happened as a result of what they did that day.
So has anybody been indicted for this double murder?
No, that's what I just said. They're covering it up. And they know that the fact that they outed me got 2 people killed. They weren't the 2 people they were trying to get killed, me and my daughter, but it got 2 people killed. You know, now they're trying to cover up the homicide where Shane Valentine is a suspect. The problem is they don't know that I know what evidence they have. Chances are they've destroyed it by now.
Now, here are some excerpts from my May 4th, 2021 interview with Connie Land, the mother of Sydney Land, one of the victims in the still unsolved 2016 Las Vegas Land-Kauffman double homicide.
The games that she played with me, telling me that everything you just said, they destroyed evidence. They weren't going to solve the case. She has the evidence, but they don't know what she has. Are you kidding? If you really wanted to help us, then you would have told me what that evidence was, but she never did, Doug. She never did. So what her motives are, I still to this day don't know. And it's infuriating to me. The commission, this was a failure for the commission. If they think that this was a big win for them, it wasn't. It wasn't. All this sent was a clear message to the judicial community that they can go and do whatever they want. They can do cover-ups. They can lie. They can break the law. They can manipulate. They can intimidate. And the commission is not going to push it all the way to a hearing. They're going to cut a deal, and that's how they deal with corruption and judicial misconduct in Clark County. She is not a good judge. She is not ethical. She is not a good person. She didn't want to help us solve this case. She doesn't want to solve this case. She is a flat-out liar. And she has gone to this poor victim mentality to the community, and the community's buying it. I don't get it. She said it was her and her daughter that were supposed to be killed. She's never once explained to me why my daughter was shot point blank in the face and it was supposed to be her and her daughter. You don't make those accusations. You don't go on record and say something like that and then shut your mouth and run away like a coward like she is. She knew she was going to get raked over the coals in that hearing, and she is such a spineless, gutless person, a slithering, slimy, I don't even know what to call her, that she skated away and she thinks she's going to get away with that. You know what's so funny? She used to tell me, Connie, you better have the backbone to fight this fight. Oh, she has no idea who she's up against when she hit me. When she starts making accusations like this, she tells me the police have evidence. They're destroying evidence. I'm being followed. She was the target. My daughter. I buried my daughter. She got the bullet in the face. She's the one that had the slow death. And the judge doesn't have the balls to explain herself. How dare she? I will fight till my last breath to get that out of her. There is absolutely no way the commission was ever going to go to a hearing. Well, I went to Internal Affairs twice about that, Greg Flores, and Detective Grimmett and his involvement and everything that was going on. And Internal Affairs, the first time, said that there was no wrongdoing, that neither one of them did anything wrong. But it only took them about 48 hours to respond back on that one. And the second time, the sergeant never even bothered to call me back. So that's what I got from Internal Affairs, trying to play by the rules and doing the right thing and holding these cops accountable. Internal Affairs didn't do a thing. They are sweeping all of this under the rug. This commission hearing, they wanted to make this go away, just like everything else that's happened in this case. They want to make it go away because they failed in this investigation. They failed. My daughter, this case was damaged. I've said it from the beginning. This case was ruined before they were even shot because of how the police were handling these investigations, or their lack thereof, or the lack thereof. And so do you honestly think that two-bit sheriff Joe Lombardo, most pathetic sheriff along the long list of other pathetic sheriffs, was going to let this come to light? They keep those secrets buried deep. They would never let this go to the commission hearing. They will never let this get out there. They are going to bury this as far as they can, because the minute this came out and it proved that they were negligent and these homicides happened because the police didn't do their job, do you know the lawsuit? Do you know the ramifications of the truth coming out? Are you kidding? If the judge has any decency, she needs to explain why she said it was her and her daughter that were supposed to be killed and not Sydney. If she has the evidence that she says she has and the documentation, and I know she called Grimmett when I was with her. We were at California Pizza Kitchen in Summerlin. It was in July of 2017 when she called him. So I know she was in communication with him. You know, if she's got that evidence, then she can give it to us. Let us fight to bring justice. I think the commission has done a disservice to this community. The judge, if she has information, she has a moral and ethical obligation to give us that information that she has. If she has the evidence that the police have buried, then she needs to come forth with it. Just so the police know, they listen to all these podcasts. I know that. I'm never, ever, ever going to stop. Ever stop. And if they thought I was ever going to slow down, I'm never going to slow down. I will continue to fight ruthlessly, relentlessly to find who killed my daughter, and anyone that's involved unethically, shouldn't have been involved in it, did anything wrong in this investigation, I'm going to claw the truth, and I'm going to get to the truth, and I'm going to steamroll over anybody that's kept my daughter from getting her day of justice. Mark my words, on her life, I'm going to do it.
Before I close this episode, you heard then Judge Tobiason in May 2018 tell me that the Land Kauffman murders happened as a result of her getting outed by the police to Allie Bowden and her police officer father. In Tobiason's written response to the verified statement of complaint that was filed by Connie Land, Tobiason stated to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline that, quote, though the October 25, 2016 interview with Ms. Bowden took place a mere 8 hours prior to the murders of Connie Land and Nehemiah Kauffman, Ms. Land's belief that they are connected is speculative, and I have no knowledge as to whether the timing of the interview is in any way connected to or the cause of the murder. Tobiason signed that written response on June 23, 2020, and then filed it with the Judicial Commission. All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, you be the judge, no pun intended, if then Judge Melanie Andress-Tobiasson lied to the Commission. That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Much more to come.